All right, so let's talk for a few minutes here about power chords and bar chords and why you should know how to play both and when you should use a power chord versus a bar chord. Okay, so a bar chord, for example, if I play an F chord, I'm playing a bar chord because I'm using my first finger to mash down several notes in the first fret. So like right now I'm playing first fret, third fret, second fret, first fret. And this finger is barring down. And that's an F major chord. If I take my middle finger away, it's an F minor chord. There's also bar chords found where you're only playing 5 strings. For example, here's a B bar chord. So this one right here, I'm barring with my first finger and some people play it like this. I use my pinky finger to do a bar as well, but I'm playing 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret. And so that's a major bar chord. And the minor bar chord, as many of you know, is right here. So those are your bar chords. If I'm playing a song that plays maybe like a G, F, B minor, C, right? I have several bar chords in that. It's kind of a weird progression, but it works. So G, F bar chord, B minor, C. Now, when you're doing bar chords, it's very important that you get all the notes that are part of the bar chord. Right? There's 5 notes in that B minor. It's very important that you get all of them. However, some people have trouble with bar chords, and that's why power chords kind of exist. Right? So a power chord, for example, B minor, a power chord is just the first 3 notes of that. We don't play this middle finger note, so we can take it off. And we actually just play this note, and this note. And then these strings are muted. Now listen to the difference in sound of the power chord versus the full bar chord. This is a minor chord, B minor. This power chord doesn't have this note right here. Now this is the note that makes it minor. This power chord doesn't have the minor note in it. It doesn't have the major note either. So a power chord is actually left pretty ambiguous, right? So if I played that chord progression where I went just power chords instead of bar chords. So I played G, and then instead of the F, I just played the top 3 notes, and then the B, just the top 3 notes, and the C. It actually sounds very similar. Here's bar chords. Here's power chords. Now the F and the B minor are not major or minor. They're neither of those. They're ambiguous because they don't give us all the information. But our ears have been trained to kind of fill in the gaps as to whether the chord is major or minor. For example, everyone knows the song Let It Be by the Beatles. If I play Let It Be in power chords, you actually heard that A minor power chord that I did. The A power chord, you heard it as A minor. your ears can hear when I'm playing a smaller amount of the chord, power chord, versus the larger chord, the bar chord, right? Your ears can hear that, but we can still tell what's major or minor even if we're just playing a power chord instead of a bar chord. So what's the point in all this? The point in all this is, you should really get really comfortable with your power chords, because sometimes we play songs. Maybe you're still in the early stages of playing guitar and you don't feel comfortable playing this, which is an A minor bar chord. Now you can play this, an A minor chord, but listen, it sounds a little different, right? Same chord, but maybe you don't feel comfortable playing this. Maybe that just doesn't work for you, so you want to play just the power chord, right? So bar chord is all the way down with my first finger. I'm barring all the way. Let's see. Power chord, I'm just pressing the top, but letting my first finger just relax, so it mutes. I'm actually muting these strings down here, whereas I'm pressing right here. Get the bar chord. I mean the power chord. I get so confused with the names sometimes. Power chord, mash down bar chord, right? So maybe you don't feel comfortable. Your hand is tired or something. You've been playing for a long night. You don't feel comfortable doing that full thing. Power chord can suffice, right? If we're playing like now I'm on acoustic, but if I was to play that like really distorted, if I was to play that really distorted, it actually probably would not sound very good if I played the full bar chords. The information is still the same. So this is kind of like a PSA for playing power chords, right? For playing power chords when either you don't feel comfortable playing the full bar chord, maybe you have a ton of distortion on if you're playing, but even as acoustic guitar players, if you're playing with like a group of people, sometimes it's nice to just kind of bring it back, right? If the whole band is playing, you could play which is a G, D, E minor, C bar chord, but instead maybe you just want to, over this, play the power chords, which would be okay. So practice your bar chords, practice your power chords, practice all of those, and realize how very similar they are, right? And how you can, even without having doing that much extra work, just play some power chord riffs and not doing the full bar thing, right? Especially if you're an electric player. Sometimes, I'll have to do another video where I plug in all the effects, but if you've got a song that goes and you've got all the distortion on, this is not going to sound great, right? Especially if it's kind of like a fuzzy distortion. So try to just break it down to just the power chords. Okay, cool. We'll see you next time.